Hello, everybody. This is the NASCAR Legend Series. Finally coming back for Season 2 here. And we have our starting lineup that we're going to be reviewing today. And the new Season 2 points system. It's going to be very interesting. It shouldn't be too long. I just have the setup track. This isn't anything like you're going to see in the NASCAR Legend Series. Now, a quick notice about the tracks. You see over there, just like at the end of season number 1, just like at the end of season number 1, race 10, where there was a cardboard track, you're going to see a lot more of those this year than these foam tracks. The foam track should only be used for race 1 and 2, and then after that should be all cardboard, if I remember correctly. But anyways, we have a great 18-car field here. But before we get into the field, let's get into just how the points are going to work this year. So very different from last year, because instead of just 10 races, whoever has the most points win, there is going to be a playoff system. So we'll get to that after we review the basic points. And also, a big change, there are going to be stages. What stages are is each, about 1/3 and 2/3 through the race, maybe just less than that. Sometimes it'll be like 1/4 and 1/2. It'll be somewhere in between those, like between 1/3 and between a fourth and a third, and between half and 2/3 is when each of the stages are going to fly. And this will allow cars who are running well in the middle of the race rather than just at the end to get points. So about 1/3 of the race through, there will be stage 1, which will give the leader 5 points towards the playoffs, second place 3, third place 2, and then fourth and fifth place will each earn 1 point respectively. It'll be the same thing at stage 2 for the top 5 at stage 2, which is about 2/3 of the race. And also, these will not bring out cautions. These stages will just give the drivers points. No cautions will come out at the end of these stages. They'll keep racing. So these stages will just give points. There's not going to be any stoppage in the race. Now, for the end of the race, here are the points for crossing the finish line the final time. So first place is going to get 50, second's 40, third's 35, and it keeps going down by 5s all the way until 8th place, which is at 10. Then 9th is 9, 10th is 8th, 11th is 7th, and it keeps going down by 1. And then 15th and below, everybody will get 3 points. Now, let's finally get into the playoff system where these points really matter. So, all these points will build up for the first 8 races of the season. After the 8 races of the season, the top 8 drivers will be selected to race in the playoffs. The top 8 in points, including a little thing that is called win to get in. And what that means is if you win a race, no matter where you are in points, you automatically get into the playoffs. If you're dead last in points but manage to steal a win, then you get into the playoffs. So wins are higher than points, and then for the last few spots, if there are not 8 different winners, if we have repeat winners, then the top drivers with the most points who do not have a win will also get into the top 8 drivers. So it's going to be the last 2 races of the season, race 9 and 10. Race 9 is going to consist of 8 cars, and then the top 4, all the points reset after the first 8 races of the season. So after all the points reset, there will be 8 drivers left who all have all have no points. And then the top 4 in points at the end of that race, so only the points collected in that race, the 2 stages in the finish, those drivers will go to race number 10 as championship contenders, the final 4. And then those 4, the points reset again for the final 4. And then those drivers compete just like in the race before for the most amount of points in one race. So let's say a driver wins 2 stages and nobody else gets any points. He will be 10 points ahead. So the other drivers would have to either win or be in second and that guy be in fourth type thing. So the stages really mix it up there. Again, winners and the points leaders are going to make the playoff cut. And then the cut in the playoffs where they actually it's going to be the winner and the 3 points leaders who actually transfer to the final 4. So that means out of all 18 of these drivers, only 4 of them at the end of the season will have a chance to compete for a championship. We're trying this for 1 year, and we'll see how we'll change it in the upcoming years. Or seasons, I guess. Seasons, not years. So here with our 18 cars, they all have a variety of different paint schemes that I'm just waiting to show off. At least 2 paint schemes for every single driver this year. So now that I'm talking about paint schemes and different drivers, let's go through the entire driver lineup. First up, we have Brad Keselowski. You can see he has a custom number 12 car, one of my 2 custom cars that made it into the series. That's his number 12 paint scheme. And then here's our first new driver to the series, Rusty Wallace. Those are his 2 paint schemes. Then there's Kurt Busch with his 2 paint schemes returning from last year. No additional ones. Then there's Kevin Harvick, who his 2 paint schemes are also returning from last year. Mark Martin is going to add 1 new paint scheme, his number 6, which looks really nice. Then there's Denny Hamlin. He is new to the series as well. He has his 2 black 11s and then his 1 purple newer FedEx car. Ryan Newman's adding some more paint schemes, which is incredible. He already had an abundance of race cars. Then there's Tony Stewart racing in the same cars as he did last year. Next up is Michael Waltrip. He's adding his 15 car. That should look nice on the track. Then next up is his brother Darrell Waltrip, new to the series. He has his 2 17 cars there. Matt Kenseth is up also. Has his 2 cars from last year. Then there's Kyle Busch, who's adding 2 cars, 2 newer Camrys. They look really nice. Then there's Joey Logano, another newcomer to the series. He has 3 good-looking cars. Then we have Jeff Gordon, who has the other custom paint scheme, the Pepsi white paint scheme. All of his cars looking nice. Richard Petty's going to add 1 more car into his arsenal of paint schemes, the one in the middle. Then there's Dale Jarrett, another newcomer. Those 2 UPS cars could not look finer with the orange and white paint. And then Jimmy Johnson adding 2 new paint schemes. The red Lowe's car and then the new Camaro. And then Dale Jr., his 8 cars finally racing in this series, most notably. So that was the starting lineup. Lots of paint schemes, lots of really nice paint schemes. Some cars have a ridiculous amount of paint schemes. I'm pretty sure all of those paint schemes will be used in races. There might be 1 or 2 from one of the cars that have a ridiculous amount that might not get used. And I just had them set up like this. No particular order, or there is, just the order that their names are going to be written down on the point sheet. But, I hope you all are really excited for Season 2. Quick update about mostly quality. There's no reason not to watch the first 3 or 4 races. Like, there's still, at least the 3rd and 4th one, good tracks. First and second one, there's some pretty big plot points, I guess, for the season. Because every race matters if your favorite driver gets a win. By the way, list your favorite drivers in the comments below. I'm just curious about who you guys all want to root for now that you've seen all the paint schemes, you know who all the drivers are. But quality, I will tell you, gets a lot better in the back half of the season, especially like race 5, 6, and on from there. The quality's going to suffer a little bit the first few races. Just, I made them too hastily. I got bored, especially in the second race. I kind of made a flop ending because I realized the track was bad. And then this other stuff. But especially after race 4, the quality improves a lot. And then I know in race 3 and 4, when the tracks improve, the racing improves a lot. So Season 2 is certainly going to be one that slopes upward in terms of quality and how it's all performed. So, thank you guys for waiting for me for so long, because I think it's been almost a year since the first NASCAR Legend Series race was put out there. It'll be my channel actually will be a year old on Christmas. It's actually a pretty nice timeline because that was when the first race, the Christmas Cup, was posted. And speaking of the Christmas Cup, I'm actually in the process of filming the Christmas Cup second annual race right now. I'm filming this video in a break between scenes actually. And this year in the Christmas Cup, it is the 6 drivers from before. It is at a different track, by the way. The 6 drivers from before, and then the NASCAR Legend Series Season 1 champion, Richard Petty. I actually brought his car out right here when I was doing the paint schemes. I need to go put that back on the track in just a second. But, yeah, they're all racing, once again, for the Lug-nut Cup, which is just over there on the ground right now. So, I hope you all enjoy Season 2, especially the second half. I feel like the second half was really... The second half had some races that took me a month or 2 to film, mostly because of school, but also just because I am trying to improve the quality for you guys. So I hope it was worth the wait, and you guys appreciate what you see. Also, the Christmas Cup, I can tell you right now, is going to be a good quality race. I am filming it after my little dip in quality. Like, it's coming back up, I promise. So, thank you everybody for thank you everybody who watched this race. They're getting you watch this race, you can, I don't know, brag that you get a little heads up for the season. You know what's going to happen, or at least points wise, you know how everything works now, so hooray for you. But thank you for watching. Christmas Cup's going to be out during Christmas. Every other race should be just about every Sunday. If I can't make it work on Sunday, maybe a Saturday night race. I do have one scheduled to be Saturday night, I think. I don't know. But I'll try to make it every single Sunday for 10 consecutive Sundays. And I think Season 3 I'm going to stop pre-filming and just release them whenever I'm done filming them. We'll see. So thank you everybody for watching this video. And get excited for NASCAR Legend Series Season 2. I hope you all have a good night.